Hello and welcome to another episode of TDD as if you meant it. Today I will add some tests on some missing branches because as just one of my viewers saw, in the initial tests I didn't add some tests, especially on this part where you have the fact that nobody won. So what do we do in this case? I've done this on purpose because it's quite often that people forget to add tests, and you need to have this check to say, hey, did I add all the tests I need? Do I have everything? So that's why we have coverage that can help us at least to understand on the if we forgot some branches to test. So in IDEA you have this very useful thing, run tests with coverage. I open the files that I want to test, and here it tells me which ones of the files have tests and how much. And you can see the coverage per class, per method, and per line. I'm, let's say, more interested in those per method because I don't have ifs in my current code. Otherwise I'd be interested in those with per line. So as you can see, I have quite good coverage, 100% here, 100%. With tic-tac-toe, basically the board doesn't have everything, but yeah, still we'll see about that. The one it's obvious that I didn't test is this in the game result, is this one with nobody won. And thank you, Pavel, for pointing this out. It's always important to look at this. So yeah, you'll get a prize when we meet up. How do we do this? In the tic-tac-toe tests, I did these tests in the beginning, like for 1 by 1 X always wins, but I had this kind of code where you have a ternary condition, and if nothing happens it means nobody won. So I need to add a test for that, and I'll just add it here in the beginning. And we need to understand when would it happen that nobody won. Well, of course this should happen in some case when let's say no player played. That's the simplest thing possible. We have an empty board, so it's obvious that the state, the game result, the state of the game is nobody won. So it doesn't even matter the size of the board when no player or let's say when board is empty, nobody won. So I don't care about the type of board. It's not really important. It's just important that I have the business rules set up here. So if I write this test as with TDD as if you meant it, sort equals, I would have some expected, some actual. What is the expected? In this context, I think it's a string. The expected is, well, this thing, nobody won. And the actual is whatever comes from a game result. Yeah, I have that already, so I'll just do something ugly to show that I need to extract this fast. Okay, the game result. Why am I doing this? Because I want to make sure that you don't forget about the typical steps of TDD as if you meant it. We have assert here. We have the arrange. This is the act. And this is the production code. If I am running these tests, I have a red bar. That's great. Actual is nothing. In order to make this test pass, I need to make sure that I have string empty board. So here, if I give the empty board, and let's say that in the production code, so the empty board needs to equal something like the current board. In fact, it should be the other way around. So if I would have a result, if I have a current board equal the empty board, then I'd have as a result something like nobody won. So let's see something like that. Let's move this here. Nobody won. Okay. And in the production code, I need to instantiate the current board, which is, let's say, not instantiated board. Or it can very well be like that, as you want. It's just important to understand what this means and why is it empty. So just for making things clearer. Okay, let's run this. If current board, yes, so in order to make this pass, I need to say that this is an empty board. Great. So of course we need to do a commit. Edit test that nobody won with an empty board. Again, if I go on this branch, I go again on this thing, so you could do run test with coverage from here. You can also do it from there. There is not a shortcut, fortunately, by default, so you need to set up that one. I still have this, right? Because hey, I just have a dummy test and it doesn't call this. So in order to refactor this, I'd like to call this get game message nobody won. And how do I do this? Well, this is private, right? Of course, I would need to do as the other tests are doing, to go on and call game result, get game result. How do I do this? This is the production code. So I could extract this to a method called get game result, I think. I'm inlining this. I don't have the production code here anymore. get game result is here, and also the fact that I have this empty board here, it's kind of messy because it should be probably here, right? So we'll deal with that as well. How do we move this? Well, the fact that, oops, I can make this static, I guess. Yes, so because it's a pure function, I can make it static, and I can move it to the board game result class. Let's make it public. As you can see, what happens is that I'm moving duplication closer. That's a good thing. So let's make a comment. When duplication comes, it comes from various places, and gets funneled into the same class. That's a good thing. It means that I'm starting to converge the code and it becomes more coherent. So let's try this. When duplication comes into the same class, we increase the cohesion of the code. So this is a very good thing, and if this happens to you, it means you're on a good path with refactoring. You start to emerge concepts rather than just basic primitives. Now, what we need to do next? Well, use the game result. Okay, make a commit. Come on. Okay, there's a bug. Sometimes it just blocks. I don't know why. So I'll just open a new terminal, git commit, and maybe if you want to see something, I should make it bigger. Extracted method get game result with an empty board. This is different, right? Because here I have the game result with an empty board, and here it's just a board. So I should start and refactor this as well. So basically this is a board. What I could do is create a board object. And I don't remember how this was. Structure size template. So whenever you don't remember something, that's why we have the tests, right? So how do you build one? With a board builder, with structure. I don't need anything basically. With size, yeah, but I don't care about the size. With structure, with size, and with template. Yeah, I forgot I have a builder, of course. So what I could do is just use the build a board that I wrote as well. I have a board structure. Yeah, and here I should have get weird. So the board structure should have something like, oh, it's static. Well, it shouldn't be static anyway. Yeah, so here I should have something like empty board. So this is basically before giving it really a template. And I wouldn't care about these other things. Token vicinity, position, and direction, because that's not really important. So I should be able to do just something like this. And let's say get. So this is where I want to go. If I want to go here, what do I need to do? I need to extract the empty board there before. So I went too far away. I don't want to make all these changes. This is what typically happens, and you don't take small steps. So because I was too far away, what I do git reset hard head. I go back to the initial thing. First of all, I run the test. Very important to make sure that everything works. So in order to make things smoother, I want to extract this empty board to my class board structure, and I want to have a thing like this in here. How do I do this? I extract a method, get empty board. I can inline this. If I go to here, I make it static. I move it, the board structure. Let's make them look the same. I make it public. I can even do here a note to do remove static. I don't want to do this now, so I just want to focus on my flow. Don't get to the flow, because too often you get distracted and you don't remember what the hell you need to do. I do have the instance. So now I moved that in the board structure, and let's do a commit. Moved get empty board to board structure. Okay. Now I need to understand that this should be a board. So this is a bit trickier, because a board always has a structure, a size, and a template. And let's say I don't really care about those. And if I look at the board builder, the initial ones, well, I don't have initial ones, so I just need to give them. I don't have, let's say, a default board in the builder. So let's try to make things work. If I would have a board, well, I do have a board builder, yes. No? Oh no, I don't have the instance because it's made here. Okay, so let's just create a new instance here. And I'll just say with structure. And the structure is this. Board. This is an empty board. And now that I have this, what I could do is move and try to use this instead of the other one. And what happens is that now I will call this one. So now if I will make this, as you can see, this isn't used anymore. If I will call this method, now of course things won't work. So I need to merge these. And if now I don't have the empty board, this should come from board structure. I don't have the instance. Let's make this board structure. Get empty board. If the current board is an empty board, nobody won. So let's just do this. I don't need this anymore. And let's run the tests. Finger crossed. No, failed. Expected X1, actual nobody won. So which one is failing? All of them, of course. Yeah, well, it makes sense. Because I'm just comparing nothing with nothing. Yes, so this should be a bit more complicated, right? Because here the board, current board, yeah, that's what I'm mistaking, of course. The current board should be board with get structure. Right, yes. This works now. What did I do? I'm using I merged the to get game result methods from game result class into just one method, dealing also with the nobody won case. Okay. Now what do I do with this? Because this is primitive, appears there, appears here, and appears here as well. I should make this public, and I should use it. It's a game result, get Message nobody won. Okay, everything works. Let's run with coverage. And yeah, this isn't covered, of course. That's why something was weird, because I had only 3 or 4 methods. Yeah, of course. I can just remove that. Great. So now the game result has 100% tests. I don't have the red bar here anymore. I have a green bar. I don't know if you can see it. It's very thin colored. It's not all obvious. Where you don't have coverage, then you don't really, you'll see a red thing, but here it's a green thing now. And yeah, you see that this one improved, and yeah, we're good now. What should I do next? Basically now I have a duplication from here to here, which I don't like. So I will just make a note: minimize duplication of instantiating board builder twice. Let's run the tests. Let's make a commit. I was on board structure, no, board game result. Improved coverage for game result. Now all the methods are covered by tests. Okay, as you can see, I told you in the beginning, in the first episode, that you will have 100% test coverage with TDDs if you meant it, but you have it if you have discipline, and you need to make sure that you will work well, and you will work in such a way that you take care of the branches. And you don't, if you don't see that, just use coverage all the time, and check where your tests aren't covered, are covering your solution. Doing just coverage on a basic TDD diffumented test where you have the production code in the test code, that's impossible. Only after you have extracted them you are able to do this. So make sure you do cover all the branches. And this kind of mistake that I made on purpose in the first episode, you can see it propagates quite on a long term. It's very important that you check and you have feedback on these, and you take the decision if you want to cover or not tests. It's not necessary to have 100% test coverage, but what it is necessary is to make sure that you covered all the important business cases, and you will be able to use your tests for refactoring fast and with safety, and for refactoring your code whenever you need to add a feature or maybe fix a bug or something like that. So that this is why it is very important to have this. Okay, I think that was all for now. Thank you for watching. Next episode will be about refactoring. We have many things to refactor that we didn't take care yet. So thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, have fun coding.